interesting last month when The Independent stated that Brexit would have no effect on the British economy. Then 2 days later reported it would actually be 4 times worse for the economy than previously believed. What effect on the British economy do you think Brexit will have?
The honest answer is that I don't know. What is the case is that before the referendum last June, most economists were predicting that Brexit would have a very bad effect on the economy. So far that hasn't happened, and the growth forecasts have been revised upwards on 2 occasions. Unemployment is now at historically low levels, whether you measure it on the claimant count or internationally accepted basis. And firms are doing okay. One reason for that is because the drop in the value of the pound, which happened the day that the results came through in the early hours of the 24th of June last year, has made our exports much more competitive and our imports more expensive. I strongly campaigned for us to remain in the United Kingdom for all sorts of political and economic reasons. It's very difficult to predict. People, I think, are now getting used to the fact we're going to come out of the European Union. I think that in some areas there will be disruption of trade. In other areas there will be opportunities. Much will depend on whether we get a sensible deal out of the European Union. But I think you'll find no one who's really willing to put their shirt on a particular trajectory for the economy, either to say it's going to grow by this much or it will contract, not least because it's so uncertain. And the last time anybody tried to do that, which is all these economists in May and June last year, they obviously got it wrong.
Yeah, thank you. So many have criticised Theresa May's route to becoming Prime Minister, as she was not chosen by the people. How do you feel about this test of UK democracy?
I think it's perfectly satisfactory. There is no rule that says that for somebody to become Prime Minister, they have, having been chosen a party leader, they have then to submit themselves immediately to a test of the electorate. And there have been plenty of occasions since the last war where there's been a change of Prime Minister in the middle of the Parliament and there's been no election. And just running very quickly through those, Anthony Eden resigned in 1956 or early 57. Harold Macmillan took over, there was no election until 1959. Macmillan then resigned himself in early 1963. Alec Douglas Hume took over, no election until the end of 1964. Harold Wilson resigned in April 1976. Jim Callaghan took over, no election for 3 years. John Major resigned, Margaret Thatcher resigned in November 1990. There was no election until April 1992. And Tony Blair resigned in June 2007, and there was no election until May 2010. So there's no rule there at all that says they have to do, indeed, perfectly normal for leadership of parties, including government parties, to change whilst they're in office.
Yeah, thank you. And finally, how, as Foreign Secretary to the UK, one of America's closest allies, did you deal with the aftermath of 9/11, and do you feel it changed your role as Foreign Secretary?
9/11 changed everything, because it changed how the world felt about itself, it changed how America saw itself. It was the most serious assault on the continental landmass of the United States that had, by an outside force, had ever taken place. Yes, I had Pearl Harbor, which was devastating, but Hawaii is a long way away from the landmass of the United States, and the only previous period that anything like those numbers had been lost was during the American Civil War in the 1860s. So it was profoundly traumatic for everybody, especially the US, but also for us, because we didn't know where the next terrorist atrocity would come from. And we also knew that we had to deal with Afghanistan and other unstable states, which is where these terrorists were based. So before 9/11, the world was sort of ticking over. My preoccupation in my first 3 months, as it was as Foreign Secretary, was about troop numbers in the Balkans, small numbers. After 9/11, we got ourselves involved first in one huge military conflict in Afghanistan, and then in another even bigger one in Iraq, and plenty of other problems as well. And the reverberations of 9/11, 16 years afterwards, still live with us.
Thank you. Well, that's all my questions, so thank you very much for speaking to me today.
Thank you very much, Jess.
Thank you.